Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is our Sabbath class, 29th of May, 2021. Topic for later on in the class is a system is in place to help Israelites. Okay, I'm gonna ask everybody to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And I want to welcome everybody, and shalom to everybody. Like I was saying before, this is Prophets of Awakening. We are a non-Messianic channel. We don't subscribe to the New Testament and anything that has to do with it. Okay, so we're gonna go into my moment of silence, which is in regards to Yahweh and His Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, and all that they are doing to orchestrate our deliverance and to bring about our prophesied regathering. And then we're gonna do a prayer, our psalms, and go into current events. Listen, I got a whole bunch of current events, so it's gonna take up most of the time today. So with that being said, I'm gonna get started. Oh Lord, we come this day praising Thee and worshiping Thee for Thy might and power and great understanding. Oh Lord, the end times that You have foretold unto our forefathers are upon us. Oh Lord, give us strength and wisdom to endure all that Thou hast foretold. And thank You for another Sabbath. Give us, O Lord, the knowledge to rightly divide Thy word, that is delivered in righteousness and in truth. There is great confusion among Your inheritance, O Lord, now that You are awakening them. For I know, O Lord, that Your hand is sure, that Your hand is firm. O Lord, we need You so very much in these latter days, and we will tarry and depend upon You, O Lord, because there is none else besides You, O Lord. You are our deliverer and our redeemer. Peace be unto You. Okay. We do a little song right quick. Sinus acted up. Okay. Okay, I'll read Psalm 40. It's a Psalm of David, and it's praise for answered prayers. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and He inclined unto me, and I heard my cry. He brought me up also out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set me my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. And He hath put a new song in my mouth, even praise unto our God. Many shall see it and fear, and shall trust in the Lord. Blessed is the man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Lord, my God, are Thy wonderful works which Thou hast done, and Thy thoughts which are to us. They cannot be reckoned up in order unto Thee. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than they can be numbered. Sacrifice and offerings Thou didst not desire. Mine ears hast Thou opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings hast Thou not required. Then said I, Lo, I come. In the volume of the book it is written of me, I delight to do all Thy will. O my God, yea, Thou law is within mine heart. I have preached righteousness in the great congregation. Lo, I have not refrained my lips. O Lord, Thou knowest. I have not hid Thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared Thy faithfulness and Thy salvation. I have not concealed Thy loving kindness and Thy truth from the great congregation. Withhold not Thou Thy tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let Thy loving kindness and Thy truth continuously preserve me. For innumerable evils have compassed me about. My iniquities have taken hold upon me, so that I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head. Therefore my heart faileth me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me, O Lord, and make haste to help me. Let them be ashamed and confounded together that seek after my soul to destroy it. Let them be driven backwards and put to shame that wish me evil. Let them be desolate for a reward of their shame that say unto me, Aha, aha. Let all those that seek Thee rejoice and be glad in Thee. Let such as love Thy salvation say continuously, the Lord be magnified. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinketh upon me. Thou art my help, and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, oh my God. Okay, this was Psalm 40, and it's praise for answered prayers by David. Okay, I saw something I want to talk about. It says, yeah, verse 10 says, I have not hid thy righteousness within my heart. I have declared thy faithfulness and thy salvation. I have not concealed thy loving kindness and thy truth from the great congregation. So this great congregation, in case people don't know it, is Abraham and Isaac. He promised them that he told Abraham the seed was going to be, he was going to multiply his seed like the stars of heaven and the sands of the sea. Well, he brought that to pass with those 10 tribes. They had multiplied. And so we know that they had 3 solemn feasts. They had 3 feasts, the holy feast a year. And they all had to come together. That's the great congregation you're talking about, David talking about. When they all came together, there he was in the midst of them, and he proclaimed to them what he understood about the Lord. That's what he's talking about in verse 10. So one of the things about that is you gotta understand we not experiencing that. We ain't experiencing that at all. We ain't coming together with no thousands upon thousands of Israelites. And the Lord of hosts there, and everything he had set in place in Israel was there. They saw that. And that's one of the things that's baffling me. How did they allow that to cause that to disintegrate? You know, crazy to me. Okay, so that was Psalms 40. It's a proud a praise for answered prayer by David. Okay, anybody got any comments? Okay, I'm going into current events, and like I was saying before, we see a whole bunch of stuff going on. We got these police shootings, one killing after another one after another one. We got the gun violence. They having one mass shooting after another one after another one, and not only that, we got this right here. Okay. We got these volcanoes. We got one right here. It's over Italy. You know, they got that one in Congo. Moving people all over the place. Just these volcanoes. We ain't talking about the earthquakes and other stuff that's going on. So when you understand what it is, the earth is the mother. So mama acting up. Okay. Let's see what I'm doing.
With NBA court apps and Microsoft, you know that if Jason Tatum drives, the help defender will block his shot. So what's the move? Fake the drive, step back for 3. Now you can get inside the game. This year, Mark.
Okay, so let me get these right quick. See what I'm doing. So this right here is John Cena. I don't know if you know anything about him. This guy is can you see that?
No.
Okay, hold up. Okay. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this guy right here is a wrestler. John Cena. He's a movie star, action hero. Plus he started out in wrestling. So what's going on with this is John Cena incident is a reminder of China's influence in Hollywood. So, like I was telling you about, China is the emerging power that's coming on the scene. Esau bringing on the scene. We had 9 earlier. America was the 9th one. China is the final one. This is John Cena, and you got to think about this. John Cena apology to China for referring to Taiwan as a country is just a reminder of the country's pervasive influence on Hollywood, as many other stars and celebrities have found themselves in similar uh, circumstances in recent years. So all of a sudden, everybody, all these movie stars, so-called millionaires, uh, got to watch their steps when it comes to China and what they say about China. Says actor and professional wrestler Cena, 44, apologized on Tuesday in Mandarin on the Chinese social media network Weibo for making the reference to Taiwan as a country during a promotional interview for the next Fast and Furious installment, F9, in which he stars. Okay, so it says when you understand what's going on, it's a big thing going on with China and Taiwan. Go way back. So he found himself in the middle of that, and evidently somebody heard up and told him he needed to do something because probably was going to lose fall off. It says, let me get it. It said, I made a mistake, Cena said. Now I have to say one thing, what is very, very, very important. I love and respect China and Chinese people. So like I said, you got to say, what's the big deal about that? Is you got to go out your way to do that. And you're a big time movie star in America, but you got to go out your way to make sure that you correct something that you said about China. And we see this happen all the time. It says, the actor and the professional wrestler apologized. It's just one of many examples in the recent times of Hollywood's cautious approach toward politics in China. As many popular film franchises, including the Fast and Furious series, have massive popularity among Chinese moviegoers. The most recent F9 film earned 162 million internationally over the weekend and 135 million in China. The film releases later in the United States on June 25th due to the pandemic-related measures. Okay. Any comments?
That's pretty big. Nobody seems to want to apologize to what they say about us, but China. I mean,
Yeah,
really?
and then yeah, then all of a sudden they got this so-called Asian American thing going on, but they being uh, bullied. They could bring that out all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Right.
this thing going on. Yeah, it's crazy. So let's look at that. So here goes something else. Okay.
I kind of feel like those that are awake to the point where we know who our Redeemer is, the King of Glory. We don't have no problem with, sure we recognize that it's biased what they're doing, but we know
Right,
that there's a method to the madness.
right.
So ain't no
Exactly.
sense in getting bent out of shape. Just remember Psalm 37 and keep it moving.
Right, exactly. Right. So the thing is that like I was saying before, we find ourselves so many people not privy to that. They don't have that understanding. Like we
Right.
see with Lord of Hosts.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, I'm not SMAC. I'm not responding to it. Whatever I'm putting on the thing, it ain't responding. Okay, let me see, might be this. Okay, hold up. There we go. All right. So so this right here shouldn't be no surprise. This is the U.S. government seeks to dismiss suit against Trump. Washington Post says. Let me get over here. It says U.S. government seeks to dismiss the suit against Trump. Washington Post says the U.S. Justice Department on Friday asked the federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed against former President Trump, former Attorney General William Barr, and other officials over the forceful pushing back of peaceful protesters at the White House demonstration last year. The White House Post reported. So ain't that something? All of a sudden, this what happened? The insurrection on January 6th. You got lawmakers. The lawmakers supposed to be the end all. The people that want justice and truth and all that to come forth. They want to dismiss this demonstration that happened on January 6th. All of them want to dismiss it.
Right.
Now they want to take Trump out of it. So it says Trump and other U.S. officials should be considered immune. Look at this. Immune from civil lawsuits over police action taken to protect the president and secure his movement, the Justice Department lawyer said, according to the Post. So let's look at that. We looked at indignation the other day, what the indignation means. And we know who behind this indignation, who's behind it is the Lord of hosts, and he got a problem with injustice and wickedness and side talking. So look at what these people doing. You know, they're supposed to be, you know, the beacon of truth and all that, and they want to dismiss. They don't even want to investigate something as horrendous as what happened on January the 6th. They want to act like it don't happen. So we're gonna go a little further into that and look at the judiciary system in the in itself. So if you got you could be got caught raping 10, 15 women, but if you can you got the money and you got the right lawyer, he gonna go in there. He know you done it. You done confessed to him and told him you done it, but he gonna go in there and find a way to put a trick in the game and get you off. And the only way you can do that is you gotta get the right lawyer. You gotta have money to do it. But if you're a no name or nobody, then you out. But if you got the money, get the right lawyer, he already know you done confess to him, you done it. But he can go in there and with trickeration, trick the system and get you out. And so what these clowns don't understand is that the Most High is watching that. So I don't really want to get ahead of myself, but that's what I mean about what I'm getting ready to go into for the class is what people have to understand. The Most High got a system in place that's been there from day one. He got a system in place. So what they don't understand is you've been allowed for a time to do this. But it's gonna come a time when it's gonna be called in. And so this right here, wicked as hell. So not only, so it's a way bigger picture when you're looking at this. It's way bigger than just this. We're gonna look at the next, and they're doing it right in front of our face. And these so-called well-to-do Negroes, you know, they looking like fools. So let's look at it. So we see right here, they calling out all the lawmakers, you know, Republicans saying that they actually putting a bid in to disembark this. How wicked is that? So let's look at it. You know, so not only that, look at this. And like I say, you can see this. You can see the systematic approach that they're taking, and they've been doing it. We so dumbed down to they don't even think about it no more. Okay, let me get it. So they want to dismiss Trump right there. Now here we go with this. Okay. Now it said the Senate Republican filibuster January 6th inquiry bill blocking the Capitol riot investigation. So they blocking an investigation. So what you have to see is they have to do this because all is going to point back to all the Republicans. All the Republicans was involved in it. So if they have an investigation, it's going to open up a can of worms like Watergate. So they cut it all off right now. So you thinking that what you know about January 6th was horrendous? Come on, let them do this investigation and let the real truth and understanding come out. So this is what they're doing. And like I said, we ain't looking at these. Look at this clown. Look at him, man. You don't even look righteous. Man, we ain't looking at these folks. Look at him. He wicked as hell. You ain't even got to go do no background check on him. Look at him. Wicked as hell. You know, we steady fumbling with him. Thinking you're gonna get something righteous out of it. Any comments? Okay. Got something else. Let me look at. Okay. Right here. So you notice how what they're doing with the so-called pandemic. Here we go. All of a sudden, over the weekend, this was happening. We ain't even got into the weekend yet. Good. China City locks down neighborhood after virus upsurge. See, southern Chinese city of, I can't say that name, Gunzhou, shut down a neighborhood and ordered its residents to stay at home Saturday. That's the day. For door-to-door coronavirus testing following the upsurge in infections that has rattled authorities. Okay, so let's look at that. Because we don't tend to do that. We just saw the dude, Cena, Hollywood actor, apologizing to China. You know, that's the influence China have. We know what happened in the beginning when all this stuff, this thing first started. Now here we go again. Today, after they opened everything up, look at this. Look at the picture, the image. So what you think gonna happen? Not only that, they got 6 cases or so in Philadelphia from the Indian variant. So what you think gonna happen? Okay. Enough of that. Okay. I think I got one more. Okay. This right here is sort of like a need to know thing. Anybody know this guy right here? Anybody know? Huh?
Oh, okay, never mind.
You know him?
Look familiar.
That's the guy that wrote, the one reopened the case on reparations, Tallahassee Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they wrote that. Notice you got the Israelite thing going now. But he wrote that piece in New York Times about redlining and all that, and he opened up the debate again on the reparations. He kind of brought it back to the forefront. So this is like I said, this is like a need to know thing because I didn't know it. It says after 5 years, it come to an end. The acclaimed run of one of the most important black minds of generation scripting the most important black superhero of all time. So, who was this black hero? Tallahassee Coast last issue of Black Panther was published by Marvel Comics on Wednesday, wrapping up a job that he debuted in 2016 at a time of awakening in the industry. Gone were the days of publishers being able to pat themselves on the back by for creations such as Puerto Rican African American Spider-Man, Miles Morales, while not having someone to look like morals to be morals, yeah, be a part of the creative process. The rise of social media gave voice to the diverse corner of comic fandom. They digitally shouted to the rooftops that people of color should be guiding the few pop culture superhero icons of color. We could pretend that to not hear it, but the laws of social media made it possible for a message to be seen. So check this guy right here, the one behind the Black Panther. A lot of the scripts and all that. And not only that, you tied to Chadwick Boseman. So when I see that right there, the first thing I think about is Kobe. You know, and Chadwick Boseman and Kobe had hooked up. They was getting ready to do some stuff, and now both of them dead. You know, so the same thing with uh the Kings of Comedy. It's four of them, you know. So like I said, it ain't hard to figure out what's going on. So uh my man, I can't think of his name. Bernie Mac, he came up dead because he wasn't he got inside on what was really going on, but his spirit wasn't trying to deal with it. He wouldn't let him rest.
Yeah.
So he came up missing. So here we
Well,
go right here. Go ahead.
I want to say that someone just told me the other day that Bernie Mac was about to tell that they was cloning people, and that's what's in the, I guess this underground stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
He found out what was really going on, and it's big. He couldn't deal with it. He wanted to make it known,
Right.
and so he consulted with specialists. Like I say, it ain't hard to figure out who who sided with them and who didn't. Look at all the perks. Can't think of his name. He got the game show.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah. You can see who sided with him. So he
Yeah.
going back. He going back. Pouring his soul out to him, and he going back telling them what's
Yes.
going on with him.
Exactly. That's what they said too. Yep.
And he came up dead. So, like I said, when I look at this right here, this dude here, you can't, you got when you see the plot and what's going on, Kobe and Chadwick dead. Well, he had to be connected to him. He the guy scripting all the Black Panther stuff. So he's still here, but Kobe and Boseman dead. Let that frame rate.
Yes.
So anyway, okay. So let me see what else I got.
Um,
Anybody got any comments? Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
yeah. She. Is there somebody else talking? Okay. Anyway, she was also telling me about this attorney, this young guy. I don't know if you all remember the story where he's supposed to, I guess, shot some people at like a mass shooting type of thing, solo
right,
playing, and then all of a
right.
sudden, then he did. Well, she had me to go on and look up his page, or look him up. But and then she went on. She said they scrubbed his stuff. They took all the stuff because he was telling about stuff that was going on.
Okay,
So they more than likely, if they scrubbed his pages and the information he had been putting out, that means they probably killed him. Not
right,
him
exactly.
killed himself.
Right, right. Yeah, it ain't hard to put out to connect the dots once you
Right.
see what's going on. Yeah, and there's some,
Yeah.
and it's like I said, it's starting to happen more and more. It's starting to be more and more frequent. We just seeing this stuff happening because a lot of what it is, like I was saying before, what people don't understand is you got to understand the system that the Most High put in place. You know, to understand what's going on and how to rightly divide all this stuff. Because if you don't, you just I mean, we forever went around and around in circles with the church. We ain't had no understanding, so all was go to the church and then go to the little lowly pastor, neighborhood pastor that that's been brainwashed, don't know nothing. But them days over with. Because the Most High he raising up men and pop from like he did back in the day. Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Nathan and Samuel. He promised us that. That's what's happening now. And so, like I said, you're thinking in business as usual, but you can fumble with it if you want. Looking at the brother, what he did 10, 15 years ago, not understanding that the Most High, you know, you're his right.
Mm-hmm.
He can make you jump hoops if you want you to jump hoops when the time comes. So they're not understanding that. They got their wires crossed. So
Oh, oh, I want to say also, I don't know if you all noticed it or not, but that shooting where the little boy was supposed to be in the back seat on his way to school with the mom, and it
okay,
was $500,000 now, the reward. You
okay.
know,
So say that again.
yeah. If you go back and review those videos where the people are talking, it's supposed to be his sister. It's so fake.
Okay,
Oh man, it's a psyop. It's fake. That's a
okay,
yeah. And the man supposed to be his uncle at the end called him a girl.
okay.
Yeah. So it,
Ain't that
and
something?
yeah, so a lot of this stuff, they just trying to get to where they want to go.
Okay.
That fake news stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a commonplace right there. The fake news. That's all they give us is fake news. Yeah. Yes. Anybody else got any comments or questions before we go? I'm gonna get ready to go into the class. Okay. Yeah. So the name of the class I'm dealing with today is a system is in place to help the Israelites. So with that being said, I'm gonna read something right quick because I think, like I said, it might be we reading it, but you don't have all the dots, and don't have a foundation, just go in your head. So I continuously in class after class go to this verse right here. I'm gonna read it again. It says Isaiah 44. It's a prophecy that Isaiah wrote long ago pertaining to a particular race of people, Israelites. So it says, "Yet now hear, O Jacob, uh, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus said the Lord that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jezreel, whom I have chosen, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessings upon thine offspring, and they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourse. One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. And so, a lot of people, when just from reading it, you can get some understanding of what's being uh, conveyed. But when you understand that I was telling you that words are You can't see words. You're speaking words, but you can't see them. So where they at? They're in another dimension. So where the angels at? They're in another dimension. Well, that dimension where these words at and where these angels at, it's a kingdom there. Daniel told Nebuchadnezzar there's a kingdom outside this world. It's a kingdom outside that's above the world that's running everything. So you say, well, what you talking about? Well, I said the title of the class is it's a system already been in place from day one, pertaining to us, pertaining to Adam's descendants. Adam's descendants eventually, through Abraham, became Hebrews, and then through Jacob became Hebrew Israelites. So when he said that seed in Isaiah 44, he's talking about Israel, Hebrew Israelites. And we know that we've been attacked and we've been scattered all over the world. And so the system that he has in place is what we see operating right now, bringing us back to where we was at. So, like I say, you see the physical side of it, but let me show you the supernatural side of it that a lot of people don't understand about it. So, first thing I'm gonna do is this. Back to the words. Like I say, they supernatural. They in another dimension. So, here we go right here. Oh, you say, what am I looking at? Can everybody see that? Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay. Do anybody know what that is?
Is that the third eye?
Pineal gland, yeah.
Oh, pineal.
That's the pineal gland. It's bioluminescent. It glow at night. So I told you about melanin. I'm gonna show you that in a minute, but I showed you that melanin is in our blood. The melanin is in our blood. And that's the reason why the Most High don't want us, when we killing those animals and making those sacrifices and eating the backbone and all that and the hip bone and stuff and the ham. He said the rump part, you gotta drain it because the melanin is in it. So that's what's in our blood. But the thing about it is, us as melanated people, especially Israelites, that pineal gland is alive right here. That's why this what's going on inside your head right now as you speak. It's in your head. It's luminescent right here inside the darkness, but it's a light right here. See that? So, but everybody ain't got that. The melanin, it's a system in itself that's inside of us. And like I said, when you understand what happened with Cain and Mariam and all them, he's retracting that. And when he retracted, this thing right here, it become calcified. Okay, it don't do what it's supposed to do. So you say, what you talking about, brother? Well, this right here, this little thing right here, the sun that the Most High put in the sky in the very beginning, it's reacting to the sun. So it's secrete in the morning when you wake up. It secrete one type of chemical. This is what makes us humans. So it create a chemical in the morning when you wake up, and it goes all through your body, all through your system to deal with the sun during the day. And then at night, it secrete another system that kept you to sleep at night. So when I say your wires cross, that's what I mean. So what's another thing that affect this thing? Lies, truth, and lies, and righteousness and unrighteousness affect this. This is what people don't not understanding. So let me look at this again. Let me go. I'm gonna have to come back to this. So we ain't understanding what's going on with this, and that happened. That's what David talking about, and when he talking about righteousness and all that. And then right here is when let me read it right quick. Get your mind right. So when you go to Daniel, you gotta let this register. I'm in Daniel, and I'm in couple of places I'm gonna go to. So I'm in Daniel chapter. I'm in Daniel chapter 7, and he had a dream, right? A dream, and I'm in verse 7. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. Daniel chapter 7, Daniel had a dream. I'm in verse 7 and 13. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. And he came, he came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. You done read this. Everybody done read this. It says 14, and there was given him a dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him in him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So you say, what you talking about? Well, I told you last night, and on several occasions that these angels, they come in early in the morning when the dew on the ground and everything being refreshed. That's when they come. Well, this dealing with you at night. So in the morning, these angels coming and dealing with you and checking on everything, and then in the night, they're dealing with you like this, with this pineal gland. Let me read verse 13 again. And I saw in the night vision. See that? At night. That's when this thing is working. While you sleeping, this working. These angels got a red, golden cord tied to it. When we sitting there fumbling with it, we don't have no idea what's going on with it. So, go a little further. These angels tied to this. The words, righteousness, all that tied to this pineal gland. So, I'm in Daniel 7 and 15. So, we see he had a vision dealing with his pineal gland. 15, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and my visions of my head troubled me. See that? So what are you talking about? You can't fumble with this pineal gland. You can't be slick and be unrighteous and all that, trying to deal with the Most High and straddle the fence. Because they ain't how it operates. So when the angel came, look what happened to Daniel. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and my visions of my head troubled me. If you ain't right, you can't deal. You can't deal with this. When these angels, you talking about you want the Creator to come back, the Redeemer to come back, these 7 angels come back. Well, you ain't right. You can't deal with it. They're gonna find you off somewhere walking down the Highway 1, talking to yourself because you can't handle it. If you ain't righteous and you ain't trying to get right, and you ain't being civilized, you can't deal with it. Most I didn't set the system up for unrighteousness and wicked thinking, and that's what we see manifesting itself. Most I bring all that back. So let me go one more place. It says, okay, let me get it. Yeah, I'm in chapter 9. Okay. So I'm in chapter 9, verse 90. And while I was speaking and praying and confessing my sins and the sins of my people, Israel, and presenting my supplication before the Lord my God for the holy mountain of my God, yea, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel came, whom I had seen, look at this, seen in a vision, to deal with his pineal gland. This is what we ain't getting at the beginning. Being called to fly swiftly, touched me by the time I was, and he informed me and touched me and talked with me and said, "Oh Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding." So all this stuff is happening in regards to the pineal gland, and this the missing link to the system that the Most High have in place that we not understanding about it. So I'm in 10, and I'm in verse 14. Says, Gabriel came to Daniel again. He says, "Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision." See that? The vision. Back to the pineal gland. That's how he's dealing with him. The vision is for many days. And when he has spoken to me, see this? When he has spoken to me, such words unto me. See that? Words in the same dominion with head. And I set my face toward the ground and became dumb, because he can't handle it. See that? It says, and behold, one like the similitude of the Son of Man touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake and said unto him that stood before me, "O my Lord, by the vision My sorrows are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength. For how can the servant of this, my Lord, talk with this, my Lord? For as for me, straightway there remain no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. So when you start talking about dealing with the Most High and all that, you got to get your mind right. And that's why you're seeing all these conversations going on, and Negroes don't know what the hell they talking about because of they ain't understanding all this. And like I said, they wires crossed up. So how can you be in 2021, 400 years is up, right at being up, and you can't see the Lord of Hosts and JC, two different beings, one of them righteous and one of them unrighteous, one of them idle. So come on. So anyway, so let's go to this right here right quick. Let me over here. Man. Excuse me. So right here, like I said, the words, going back to the words. Come
on, bring that truth.
Okay.
Bring it.
Okay, the system. Here we go. So here go the word system, right? A set of things working together. See that? Remember what I just read, Isaiah 44, 1 through 5. A set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or an interlocking network. A set of principles or procedures according to which something is done or organized scheme or method. So we see how, like I'm telling you, Most High got a system that's been in place. So you sitting around fumbling and worrying about is this gonna happen, that's gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. Most High is the system already been in place. These clowns got a cloak sprayed over it. Most High allowed them to put a cloak over it, but the system's still in place. So he said, providing prevailing political or social order, especially when regards as oppressive or in transition. Says a set of stays in a musical store. Okay, anyway, so we see what a system is. So let's get out of this. Okay, so what I want to do right now, I think I clicked them out of here. Yeah, okay. So we see what a system is. So let me see where I'm at. So I gave you the definition of a system. I show you what a Pineal Gland breakdown was. Let me give you this right here, right quick. I don't have to take everybody off here for a minute. Okay. So you see behind me right here? This is what he breathed in the atom. Right here. This is melanin. He breathed in the atom. That's what makes us like we are. Look over here. See that? It's a melanin molecule. So go back to see what these folks have done. I told you they got these nanobots. So they didn't came back and try to counter Most High with nanobots, where the Most High got melanated molecules, black matter, dark matter, right here. They didn't came behind and backdoored him after doing research on this creativity. They didn't came with nanobots, wicked as hell. So let's go into let me get over here. Let me see what I'm at. So yeah, so let me get you back on here. So he told us, he said that he put this melanin in when he breathed in the atom, the breath of life. That's what he breathed into him. He breathed this melanin into his system, and this yeah. Let me get there. So he right here, and you like I said, you have to understand this. Even when you're reading the scriptures, even when you're praying, you got to have this understanding in your head. You'll even be talking about praying. So right here, this thing right here, it makes the melanin. It creates the melanin. Then this melanin goes into your system. And so when the baby is in the semen, when the egg and the meet the when the egg and the two eggs meet from the man and the woman, this melanin that's secreted from this gland right here surround that egg, and that's why it forms. The baby come out perfect without woolly hair, brown skin, brown eyes and 10 toes and all that. And this is why he's saying telling you not to intermingle. And so, like I said, we wasn't having all these defective problems before we intermingled with other people. He already know they was defective, and he told us don't deal with them because it's gonna happen with us. So he had a system in place right here to make sure that when you had a baby, boy or girl, it came out perfect. So the system already was in place. So we'll keep going. And like I said, even with the you talking about they talking about computers and Apple computer and all this stuff, and Apple computers ain't got nothing on this pineal gland. This is what they trying to duplicate right here, what the Creator did in the beginning. And so I told you we talked about these 7 holy angels. We're gonna get into that in a minute. So this is what they dealing with. This is what we ain't understanding. This is what the soul and all that is inside of you. All this tied to this right here. It's in another dimension. It's like a lighthouse on the seashore. It's in between this dimension and the dimension where the angels at and where Yahweh is. Mm-hmm. It's the beacon. And we fumbling with it. So let's go and look at some more scriptures in the Bible. I'm gonna leave it up there. It might rub off on you. So I'm in Ezekiel. Right quick. Ezekiel chapter 37, I think it is. I want to go. And it says the hand said 37:1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, he carried me out in the spirit. See that? So again, it's in the other dimension. He's dealing with the spirit of Ezekiel, which is just tied to the pineal gland. So he said, in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. So what you got to understand about that, this something we ain't too privy to. We don't understand about it. So you got to understand what Ezekiel and when all this happened to them, you got to understand where they at. They doing some most. They doing the most. They looking crazy because they trying to figure out what's going on. But all that was already in them. The angels already know this. They already know what they can do with it. And he get a class on it. So he says, look at this. And says in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. Now look at 2. And he calls me. Look at that. Calls me to pass by them round about. Mm-hmm. Back to what we just read last night about Habakkuk. Mm-hmm. You got that plate lunch over there. You ain't finna eat it. I'm finna take you by your hair and take you over here, Daniel in the lion den. With 7 hungry lions, you got to feed Daniel with that. But your body ain't going. Yeah. Huh? Come on. Yes. So then he says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Oh Lord. Now you see why he asked these questions. So he says, and he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Oh Lord, thou knowest. See, he ain't trying to, he already snatched his spirit up. He doing the most spirit. So niggas say, I don't know what, Lord. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Now the truth of the matter coming to light. So he said, and again he said unto me, prophesy unto the bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. And thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinew upon you. I done read this 1,000 times. And I will lay sinew upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, You shall know that I am the Lord. Now we know what he's talking about, right?
Yes, yes.
What he capable of doing. This ain't no metaphor or no symbol.
Yes.
Right.
We capable of doing now. So he asked in Ezekiel, Negro, I just snatched up your essence up out of you.
Yes.
And took you over here and sit you over here and caused you to do this and caused you to do that. Now I'm asking you, can I bring these bones back to life?
Come on. Yes. Yes.
Can I get this
Yes.
sinew thrown out of the ground? I made the sinew to put it in Adam. Can I get this same sinew out the ground that's been rotted and put it back in this and bring whole Israel back to life?
Yes. Come on now.
Yeah, we sitting there with our wires crossed.
Yeah.
So when you
Come on.
understand this conversation, then it killed JC.
Yes.
This is what they don't want you to know, that this is a being that's capable of doing this.
Yes.
And it ain't Yahweh.
Come on.
See? And so he talking all the way through 3,500 years to me and you.
Yes.
And we've been fumbling with it up until now.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So we said right here, it says 9. Then see, he talking him all the way through the whole thing. You talking him to it. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the winds. Prophesy something, man. Say to the wind, thus says the Lord God. We know who it is.
Yes.
Ain't got no Jesus Christ on there nowhere. Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as you commanded me. Breath came into them and they lived, stood upon their feet, and exceedingly great army.
Yes.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It was a being that's doing all this. Same one that created what we're looking at on the screen. He can manipulate this because he set it up.
That's right.
There's a system in place. Okay, now let's go to another one. He said I read in Isaiah 44:6, he said, I see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Ezekiel part of the seed? Is Ezekiel Israelite?
Yes.
Is he part of the seed, right?
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna go to another seed. Nathan. I'm in 2 Samuel. And so we in seed. So we gotta up the standard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So he's this Pineal Gland, what he created, the system he set in place. Part of the system is you can't eat no pork.
Come on now.
Come on. See that?
Yes.
Cokes. Huh?
Yes.
Can of orange. He's throwing this out. So Nathan, I'm in 2 Samuel, chapter 7. So I done read this 1,000 times. It came to pass when the king sat in his house, and the Lord had given him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said to Nathan, the prophet, see now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of God dwelleth within curtains. And Nathan said to the king, go do all that's in thine heart. For the Lord is with thee, right? So I'm getting ready to show you the system. We done read this 1,000 times, but I'm showing you it's a system that was in place. Don't the Most High God watches?
Yes.
Don't he have 7 holy ones?
Yes, he does.
Is the watcher and the holy one the same thing?
Yes.
No. The watchers is the angels he created.
Oh, the holy one is the
holy one is the 7, right?
Wait, Leonard, say that again.
It's the 7 angels.
7 holy ones.
The watchers are the 7 angels, which includes Michael.
No. Oh. The watchers are the angels he created. Remember Daniel, Enoch said 200 watchers came down.
Okay. Created and formed. Okay.
Right. So 7 is 7 holy ones.
Okay.
It's the holy,
everywhere he go, they going.
Okay.
Since they've been in existence, they going where he go. Just like this Pineal Gland. He's gonna do what he's supposed to do. The Pineal Gland gonna do what he's supposed to do. So it's a system was in place while Nathan and David talking, there's a system in place. Most High got watchers, right? And he got Michael and all them. So Nathan told David, go do what all's in our heart. He ain't check in with the Most High Kingdom.
Right.
So it was somebody watching, right?
Yes.
4. And it came to pass that night that the word of the Lord came on Nathan, because he ain't do what he supposed to have done.
Yeah, yeah.
Put them in place. You follow me with it. Like over here, they came and got us from the west coast of Africa and did all this horrendous stuff to us, even to the day.
Mm-hmm.
They watching.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
There's a system in place.
Hmm.
And retribution already started.
Yeah.
Come on. So 5 said, go tell my servant David, thus says the Lord, shall thou build me a house? He correcting Nathan. People ain't getting that.
Mm-hmm.
Go and tell my servant David, thus says the Lord, shall thou build me a house for me to dwell in, whereas I have not dwelled in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but I have walked in a tent and a tabernacle. So we see the system working right there. So now, I'm in Genesis chapter 20. This when Abraham went down to, I'm showing you the system. Genesis chapter 20. Genesis chapter 20.
Okay.
So you should know this story. This when Abraham was down with Amalek, and he told them to told Sarah to tell them that he was our brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna pick it up right here. I'm reading verses 1 through 12. It says Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur and sojourned in Gerar. So let's go back and look at this. We following with it. So did not Abraham didn't a star come in the sky in the east? Where same story they got the story they put on JC. They got it from Abraham.
That's right.
So when Abraham was born, it was a star. Heaven let everybody know this my man right here, Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
They came outside, looked at the star, ran across the sky, and they said knew somebody was born that was going to be nothing nice.
Mm-hmm.
So they found out it was Abraham. So remember, I tried to kill him. So now Abraham grown, right? And he's on the move. Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur. So it's not heaven. It's not all these angels. It's not his pomegranate. It's all in play.
Yes.
All that's in play. So we're going to keep going. Verse 2. Abraham said to Sarah, his wife, she is my sister, and Amalek, the king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. So now let's go back and look at it. So what else was Abraham going to do? He already know about the giants. What they going to do? They see a pretty woman, they're going to take the woman.
Right.
They ain't finna ask you nothing. It ain't like today. They ain't finna go ask you nothing or try to catch you when you ain't around and talk to her. They gonna walk up there and slap you upside the head and get the woman.
Yes.
You ain't gonna do nothing about it. So that's why Abraham said this. So let's look at it. But what Amalek don't know is a system in place.
Mm-hmm.
Now 3. But God came. See that? They watching.
Yeah.
So God came to Amalek in a dream by night. So who is this God? Let's go. We're going all in. Is this Yahweh?
No.
Okay, let's go. Oh, that ain't the right word. See that?
Right.
That ain't the right word. But God came to Amalek in a dream. There go the dream. We'll be back. We back to this Pineal Gland right here. We looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Said God came to Amalek in a dream by night, not in the cool of the day,
mm-hmm.
but by night, and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Come on.
Now Amalek don't know nothing about none of this. So, but Amalek had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will thou slay also a righteous nation? See that? So he talking to him. He ain't talking about all his folks, his kingdom. But Amalek know if you who this is, he ain't gonna just knock me off. He gonna knock the whole country off. So
right.
He went right to the point. He said, will you slay a righteous nation? See that? 5. Said he not unto me, she is my sister. She herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and the innocency of my hands have I done this. We ain't been reading this the right way.
Right.
And God said unto him in a dream. Come on now. They're in a dream.
Yeah.
They're in a dream. Come on. So let's look at that. So is Amalek a melanated man?
He gotta be.
Okay, see? So we ain't got to fight with no more. We ain't got to go to seminary to figure that out.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. And God said unto him in a dream, yea, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. See that? How was Amalek gonna sin against him? Messing with Abraham.
Yeah.
Come on. Against me. Therefore, suffer I thee not to touch her. Now, therefore, restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet. Come on. He is a prophet.
Yes.
And he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that's thine. Now we see why Amalek is worried about the nation. See that? Therefore, Amalek rose. Look at this. Therefore, all this in play. I'm showing you the system. The Most High come in the cool of the day, right? Therefore, Amalek rose early in the morning.
Yes.
He came dealing with the Pineal Gland that night. Early that morning when the dew on the ground. Come on.
Yeah.
Amalek said, therefore Amalek rose early in the morning, called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and the men were sore afraid.
Okay. Yes.
Then Amalek called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? And how have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? See that? He keep on bringing about his kingdom up. Thou hast done these unto me that ought not be done. And Amalek said unto Abraham, what sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place.
Right.
And they will slay me for my wife. See that? So what brought about all this? The Pineal Gland. The Pineal Gland was already the Pineal Gland, and the kingdom of God that Daniel was dealing with connected to this Pineal Gland. That's in your head.
Yeah.
That's what brought all this about.
That's how he communicate with us.
Right. See that?
Yes.
So let's look at it. So we following with it. Like he said, the Lord host said that I ain't some God or some idol that's way off somewhere. I'm nigh to you.
Yeah.
So now you see what he's talking about. See that? Okay.
Yes. Is Abimelech a giant?
Yeah. He descended from him.
Okay.
But he ain't, like I said, when the Most High removed the 200 angels, they ain't as tall as the regular ones. They getting lower and lower in stature. Right. So these giants got the personalities they got. They'll go and get a whole race of people, relocate them, put them on ships, beat the hell out of them, and lie to them. As long as the Most High won't come back, they'll do it for 2,000 years or 2 million years if the Most High don't come, right? So my question to the people on the line is, was it giants that came and got us? Was it giants? Was it giants came on the slave ships and brought us over here?
No.
Okay, but they got the personality that the giants got. They ascended from the giants. They removed. Most I told Michael and those other 6, go get them 200 and put foot in them, and then put them in the middle of the earth and bind them and put rock stones over them. So they're not as big as they were.
Okay.
They're being reduced in height because now they're intermingling with humans. They're coming down in height. But they still got that personality, the DNA in them.
The characteristics of them,
They'll do the same thing, or they'll do the same thing the giants doing, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at this. We're gonna go all the way in. So show you how abominable these people is. This very thing I'm showing you on the screen, the Pineal Gland. These people eating the Pineal Gland.
My goodness.
They didn't figure out the Most High order, and they figured out what he done. So they say, well, hell, I'm gonna skip around. I'm gonna get past all the dumb stuff. I'm gonna eat the Pineal Gland.
Come on now, Leonard.
I'm gonna kill the person that is in to eat the Pineal Gland.
Oh wow!
What?
Come on.
What?
That's what's going on. That's what's going on today. And we just not finding out. They've been doing it.
Wow.
They eating the pineal gland. So let's look at that. So if you go in there and eat this pineal gland, or changing a couple of scriptures in the Bible, ain't nothing.
Goodness gracious, what are we dealing with?
Come on. So let's look at it. So we're gonna keep going. I'm in Daniel chapter 2.
Okay. Wow.
And so, like I said, you want to cook up with all that, just Google it. You ain't gotta take my word for it. So I'm in Daniel chapter 2, and let me see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm reading Daniel chapter 2. It says, so it says, then I turned and took our journey into the wilderness. No, this ain't me. That's not true. No, I'm in Deuteronomy chapter 2. No wonder I'm thrown off.
You're all right.
Okay, Daniel chapter 2 says, this Nebuchadnezzar's dream. So see where we at? We right back to the pineal gland again. So is Nebuchadnezzar a melanated man?
Yeah.
Okay. Say, and in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar dreamed, wherewith his spirit was troubled, and his sleep break from him. So let's look at this right now, because we didn't went through 4 or 5 different situations. So it says, and in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams. Well, we ain't been dealing with that word dream, have we?
No, I mean, not the way we're supposed to.
Right. When you was in BTU in Sunday school, you wasn't reading it. You wasn't reading it.
They ain't saying nothing about a dream.
Okay. So now, verse 2. Then the king commanded to call the musicians and the astrologers and the sorcerers and the Chaldeans for to show the king his dream. So they came and stood before the king. So now let's look at that. So Yahweh, I'm showing you what on the screen. Yahweh created that, the system that's been in place. So now we know where a musician and all them come from. They trying to duplicate what the Most High did in Adam. But look at it. Verse 2 said, then the king commanded and called the musicians. See that? This is the system they got in place, but it's flawed.
Yes.
So he called the musicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, the Chaldeans, for to show the king his dream. See that? So 2 different systems. They ain't working. He said the Most High said, don't deal with their knowledge because it ain't working. So he said, so they came and stood before the king, and the king said unto them, I have a dream. I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. So now, they ain't got nothing to do with the dream, right? The dream that the Nebuchadnezzar had, who sent the dream? Hello? Can you hear
Say that again, Leonard?
Nebuchadnezzar dreamed the dream. Who sent the dream to Nebuchadnezzar?
The Lord of Hosts.
Okay, so can the musicians and all them recall it and bring it up?
They can't touch it.
They can't touch it. So it says 3. The king said unto them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit was troubled to know the dream. See that? He want to know the dream. So why he said the dream? To bring him to his kingdom, because they can't deal with it. So 5 or 4. So then spake Chaldeans to the king in Assyrian language, O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will show thee the interpretation. And the king answered and said unto the Chaldeans, the thing is gone from me. If ye will not make known unto me the dream with the interpretation thereof, ye shall be cut into pieces, and your houses shall be made dumb. See that? If ye show the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor. Therefore, show me the dream and the interpretation thereof. So, like I said before, what he doing is he let Nebuchadnezzar know, you know, what you think going on ain't what's going on. So I just sent you this dream because I'm trying to bring you somewhere. These folks you got around, you can't do. They ain't what's happening. So 7. They answered again and said, let the king tell his servants a buying time. Let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation of it. The king answered and said, I know of a certainty that you will gain the time, because ye see the thing is gone from me. But if ye will not make known unto me the dream, there is but one decree for you, and ye shall be prepared for lying and corrupt words to speak before me. Tell the time until the time be changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I shall know that ye can show me the interpretation thereof. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show me the king's matter. Therefore, there is no king. Therefore, there is no king, Lord, nor ruler that asks such a thing at any musician or astrologer or Chaldean. So let's look at. So it's Daniel or the Israelite.
Absolutely.
So he got this right here. He got this Pineal Gland. He got this whole system that's been in place. It's in there. So this guy don't know what the hell he talking about, because he says, 10, the Chaldean answered before the king and said, there's not a man upon the earth that can show the king a matter. See, he don't know what he's talking about.
Yes.
So let's come to the day and the church system.
What system?
Church.
Yes.
So now the Most High done brought the times back around to he bringing his people back, and the church can't, the things that's going on, church can't relate to them.
That's right, Leonard.
They throw. They wise cross. So, and it is a rare thing that the king requires, and there's none other that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh. See that? You don't know there's the Pineal Gland tied to these gods that the Most High created in the man when he created Adam. So 12, for this cause the king was angry and very furious and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. And the decree went forth that the wise men should be slain. And they saw Daniel. See that? They saw Daniel and his fellows to be slain. Then Daniel answered with counsel and wisdom to Arach, the captain of the guard, of the king's guard, which was gone forth to slay the wise men of Babylon. So let's look at this. We're gonna multitask. We're talking about the prophets. We're talking about the melanin. We're talking about the Pineal Gland. We're gonna deal with this captain of the guard right here, 14. It says, then Daniel answered with counsel and the wisdom of Arach, the captain of the king's guard. Who is Arach?
He's second in command.
Okay, but he's captain over the guard. What the guard do?
Execute.
The guards guarding the king. They guard Nebuchadnezzar. So Nebuchadnezzar got a man over the guard that's watching him. Ain't that what the Lord of hosts is?
That's right.
So it ain't some word or some concept I can concoct it and dug out the back of a watermelon truck. He says that it's a system, and the part of the Most High system is he got a captain of the guard, which is the Lord of hosts that's over his kingdom. Same right here. That's where Nebuchadnezzar get it from. He got a bunch of folks that guard him, but it's a man over that guard. It's a bunch of men that do his bidding for him. He got a man that's over them, and the title is Lord of hosts. Yeah. So I want to inject that in there. 15. He answered and said unto the Arach. See that? So ain't no different than when you say Michael, when you get up to Yahweh kingdom. Same right here when they said he answered and said to Arach, the king's captain. See that? King's Lord of hosts. Why is the decree so hasty from the king? Then Arach made the thing known to Daniel. Then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time, and that he would show the king the interpretation. Then Daniel went to his house and made the thing known to Hannah, Mishael, and Azariah. In case you don't know, that's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's their real names right here. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, their captive names. 18, that they would desire mercy of the God of heaven concerning the secret, that Daniel and his fellows should not perish with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. Then was the secret revealed. Look at this. Here we go. Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in the night vision. See that? In the night vision. They ain't fumbling with it. In the night vision. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Why he blessed him? Because he showed him through the Pineal Gland. He showed him what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? It says, Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might.
Yes.
And he changed the times and the seasons. He removed his kings. He setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knoweth to them that know understanding. He revealeth deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and light dwelleth with him. And I think thee and praise thee, O thy God of my fathers, who have given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me. Know what we desire of thee, for thou hast now made known unto us the king's matter. I want to shine light on something. So Daniel said up here, 21, and he changed the times and seasons, removed the kings, he set up a king. He giveth wisdom to the wise and knowledge to them that know of understanding. He revealeth the deep things in secret. He knoweth what is in the darkness. Look at that. He knows what in darkness, and he dwelleth in the and the light dwelleth with him, right? So what is pineal gland is? Look at it.
The pineal gland is
in the dark. And it's in the dark?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And what it's doing inside the brain? Lighten it up, man.
Lighten it up.
Okay, 24. Therefore, Daniel went in unto Arach, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus to him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me in before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. Then Arach brought in Daniel before the king in haste, and said thus to him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah. See that?
Wow, yes.
That I will make that will make known unto the king the interpretation. Then the king answered and said unto Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar. See that? He keeps Daniel's name, that's his captain's name, Belteshazzar. Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king have demanded, cannot the wise men, the astrologers, see that? Daniel playing with him. Come on. Cannot the wise men, the astrologers, and the musicians, and the soothsayers show unto the king? But there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days, thy dream and the vision of thy head upon thy bed, or these. So let's look at this. So what's going on is not the system I'm telling you about. I started out with. I told you the system already in place. It's not the men of Judah. It's not the Israelite part of the system.
Yes, they are.
So he gave a dream. The Israelite is part of the system. So he started with all these wise men and all this, and they couldn't do nothing. Then he had to go back to the system.
That's right.
Daniel sitting right there, went and did his part. He part of the system. And he got the dream answer.
Right.
So I want to shine light on something else. So people, I mean, I showed you who Arach was. He's the Lord of hosts. And this is what so many people doing. If you listening out there on YouTube, well, I hope this registered. So it says 24. Arach is the Lord of hosts. Over Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. It's Nebuchadnezzar on the throne, and Arach is second in charge. He right there. So it's a dilemma that happened in Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. He needs to get this dream interpreted. And so the responsibility on Arach. Right? So I'm in 24. Therefore, Daniel went in unto Arach. See that? Whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men. See that? And then 25. Then Arach brought in. So I can't act like Arach ain't there.
Yeah.
Arach, I'm reading him. He is here. I can't act like he ain't there. So what is we doing? What is these folks and cause us to do? We acting like the Lord of hosts ain't there. He ain't in the equation. We read the whole book, but we acting like the Lord of hosts ain't there. He ain't in the book.
No acknowledgement.
So let's go back over there. Well, I just read in Daniel chapter 2:15, he answered and said unto Arach, the king's captain. Right? So he in the equation. Where I'm over here. I'm in Genesis chapter 1. Listen where I'm saying. I'm in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1.
Wow.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. 2. And the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit, the angel of God, moved upon the waters. Yahweh there and his angel. So from this point on, he all in here, but you acting like he ain't there.
Hmm.
You fumbling with it.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
So with that being said, anybody got anything else? I got one more. Then we're gonna do something else. Anybody got any questions so far or comment?
I have a question. Okay, you know when it says in 21 it says, and he changed the times and all that, and then the Lord gave him the understanding of the dream. Right. Am I getting too technical if I say that as God was giving him the understanding of the dream, it talks about the spirit of might, it talks about the spirit of wisdom? Are we talking about anything about the 7?
Right. It's all this important is part of it. You got to go back to the system when the system was set up. So these 7 part of the system.
Okay. Okay.
So when understanding that example of that is Isaiah chapter 11.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
Somebody might not be apt on this, so let me go to that right quick. So chapter 11 says, in the beginning, Most High created 7 angels. The first one he formed 7 angels. The first one he formed was Michael. So I'm in chapter 11 of Isaiah. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, the branch shall grow out of his root. So that's David. But what we just read in same system was Daniel was there. Daniel was the rod.
Mm-hmm.
And so then verse 2, and the spirit, that's our angel, spirit of God, 1, shall rest upon him. The spirit of wisdom, 2, understanding, 3, the spirit of counsel, 4, might, 5, the spirit of knowledge, 6, and the fear of the Lord, 7.
Exactly.
7. So the same thing working with Daniel.
Mm-hmm. So those 7.
Any other prophet, right? Any other prophet.
Those 7 are a part. They are an intricate part of that system.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. So what I want to do is let me see what I got right here. Yeah. So
wow.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna okay. So we was just reading in okay, we was reading in chapter 4, Daniel, I think it was. Let me get this. Trying to throw me off, but I gotta get this. So yeah. Go ahead, let me go to this. I'll find it in a minute. I'm in Numbers chapter 12 right quick, dealing with the Pineal Gland and dreams and everything. This is the last story. Numbers chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in Numbers chapter 12 and let me see what I need to read. Verse 6 is where I'm going. But I'm gonna start at verse 1. Mariam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now, the man Moses was very meek above all men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Mariam, come out, ye 3, into the tabernacle of the congregation. And they 3 came out, and the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud, stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Mariam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If a prophet be among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him. Here we go. In a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. That's this right here. That we're looking at right there.
Right.
So for him to say that, the system been in place. The system been in place. Then he says, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak unto my servant Moses. See that? So right here, the system is in place, is dreams and visions, melanin, and the Most High dealing with his pineal gland.
And them 7.
Right. It's all tied all together. You can't get part of it and don't get the rest of it. You come up hurt. So yeah. So anyway, let me find this right here. Because I got this important because it's solidified again. I was talking about. I'm in Daniel. Okay. Okay. Anyway, what it was it's dealing with a Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he saw here you go right here. It says I'm in Daniel chapter 4, verse 13. I saw in a vision my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. See that? So what that's telling us? Hello?
Where'd you just read from, Leonard?
Daniel chapter 4, verse 13. Daniel chapter 4, verse 13.
Thank you.
It says, I saw in the vision of my head. So that's in his head. He having a dream. And where the pineal gland is, upon my bed, in his bed. And behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. And he cried aloud and said, thus, hew down the tree, cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, scatter his fruit, lest the beast get away from under it and the fowls from under the branches. So he saw a watcher, which is a created angel, and one of the 7 angels came down. So what they're telling you, it's just like the Secretary of State. Go to Ghana somewhere where she gonna go, but she got a undersecretary with her. So pertaining to Nebuchadnezzar, a watcher came down, but a holy one was with him. That's a system. They ain't just come out the dark. They came from a place. They came from heaven.
Right.
See that? So this is what Nebuchadnezzar saw. He don't know what the hell going on. He don't know nothing about that. So then we get over here in let me see. Daniel breaking the understanding down. It says 21. 20. The tree that thou saw which grew and was strong was heights reaches under heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwell, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven have habitation. It is thou, O King Nebuchadnezzar. Thou art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reaches under heaven, and thy dominion to the ends of the earth. And whatsoever the king saw, look at this, a watcher and a holy one coming down from heaven, the same hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leaves in the stumps of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field till 7 times 7 pass over. So we telling them a watcher and you ain't just lose your kingdom on accident. A watcher and a holy one came down and decreed it. Most in heaven they came down and performed it. This why you where you at. This was getting ready to happen. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, I understand it. So okay. So now I'm gonna open up for cute question and answers. Anybody got any question and answers before we get out of here?
I do. Okay. I noticed that you read several times the watcher and the Holy One come down together, and so I just want a little bit more understanding of that partnership. The watcher, I'm sorry, we know that the Holy One is coming down to perform something. Is that right?
Right. The Holy One is watching the watcher. The watcher is the one is doing all the observing, but the Holy One is watching him
to make sure that he carries it out according to
right, because he's one of the eyes of the Most High.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with that. Is a system in place. Right.
And then I wanted to comment on when you read about the second in charge for Nebuchadnezzar said that there is no man. O king, why are you asking this thing? There's no man that can interpret your dream. Well, it reminded me of why the Hebrew Israelite man is so hated, because there's so many things that other men cannot do. Seriously.
Right.
And then when it comes down to it, the Hebrew Israelite man can do it. And we can go all the way back, Leonard. We can go back to slavery. Instruments that made farming and made sharecropping and all this stuff easier were invented by the Hebrew Israelite man.
Right.
You understand? And so, and then you made a statement about the church and how what the Lord of hosts has brought into our midst at this time. The church is confused.
Right.
They don't know how to respond to it. And here's what you hear all of them saying. I can't wait till we get back to church the way we used to do it. It's not going to go back there.
Right. Time up.
Yeah, but that's all they know.
Time point is up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if he we read the other day about back to the words indignation, and we read who indignation is. It's the Lord of hosts indignation. Mm-hmm. So if his indignation came to a fool with Israel, his inheritance, don't you think his indignation gonna come to a fool with the church?
Exactly.
That's where we at.
Yeah.
It served its purpose. It was to keep the Israelites in blind.
And Leonard, can you imagine the Lord of hosts and the other hosts watching these colonizers eating pineal glands?
Right.
You know, always trying to backdoor something. They don't know how to do something authentic and do it in truth. They always want to, they have to backdoor because, like you say, they're an invasive species.
Right, they have to. It's just like, look what look at it. They didn't create it. When you understand what melanin is, they didn't create nanobots. See that? They got nanobots and they got put it in the water and put it in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these people, like I said before, you got to go back and look at J-Fat Ham ain't nothing Noah's son.
Right. And then my last comment, Leonard, is we are just, let me speak for myself. I am just beginning to understand what was meant in Genesis when he said, let us make them in our image and our likeness.
Right, exactly.
See, we just thought there was some kind of, we look like God and, you know what I'm saying? No, it's a whole inside job.
Right. Then you thinking, like I said before, you thinking that when you hear that, you think that's just for you to jump up and down behind the pews where you sitting at. That's narrow-minded.
Mm-hmm.
So you throw it on the road, that's where you at. Because it's way bigger than that. Mm-hmm. And you know what I'm saying? And come on. So
one thing I went to went to lunch yesterday and I saw the most beautiful sight, and it was a Hebrew Israelite brother sitting down to lunch with his two little sons.
Right.
And just, just having a conversation. And, the little boys were well behaved. And what I thought in my mind, man, if they just leave us alone, let
Right.
us flow in, how the Lord of hosts has ordained and made us, but, that's, it's all in the plan, and Lord of hosts is, he gonna get it straight.
Right.
But yeah, you can't help. Your thinking is affected by the knowledge. When you learn, it affects the way you think. It affects the way you go out into the world. I know it does. It does me. When I when I see melanated people with the knowledge that I have, there is even it just demands respect.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And then I'm even talking about even my homeless brothers and sisters that I see. But I don't look at them the same.
Right. Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Is he just asked Ezekiel. Once you find out the power that the person that grabbed Ezekiel by the nape of his head, when you understand the power he wielded, he asked him, "Can I make these bones live again?"
Yes.
So if I can make a dead man come alive, what you think he capable of doing to a homeless man?
Yeah, come on now. Yes.
So you
Yes.
told when you sitting there, so and more, the thing go way it is with me. When I get in that environment, I'm expecting it's somebody one of these homeless people y'all already using to tell me something.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
that's how it go. Yeah.
I mean, if he can make something out of nothing, you mean you're gonna let him start with a bone and he can't do
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Right.
Great lesson. Great lesson.
Okay. So anybody else got anything? Comments? Question? Okay, I got a little closeout comment. Put on your mind. The grave story. The grave story, Most High deal with signs, right? So when they concocted the New Testament, they had to give JC a sign, right? And this sign is 3 days and 3 nights in the earth, in the grave. He's gonna come out after 2 days, 2 nights. He's gonna rise on the third day. So they concocted him. He's a created being. They created him. So now they got to figure out a way how to bring him to life.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, well, let's go back to the Old Testament. We got everything else from there. Let's go there and see what kind of sign we're gonna put on him. So we found out that Israel is the son, right?
Right.
Let's go there. Hosea. We got about 10 minutes. Says Hosea, chapter 11.
Mm-hmm.
Says, when Israel, chapter 11, verse 1, when Israel was a child, then I loved him and I called my son out of Egypt. So what are you talking about? Israel was in captivity in Egypt.
Right.
Brought a host received Israel as inheritance. And Yahweh sent him over there and he received Israel as inheritance. He delivered them, received them as inheritance, and brought them back to the land of Israel.
Exactly.
Right. So Israel is the son. Okay, so now we know Jesus ain't the son, but Israel is the son. So where is it that Israel was cast off for 2 days? So Hosea chapter 6. So, got it?
Mm-hmm.
Come, let us return unto the Lord, for he hath torn. We read this other night, and he will heal us. He hath smitten, he will bind us up. After 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
will he revive us. In the third day,
Mm-hmm.
and we shall live in his sight. So we see where they got it from. Now, one more. Israel is a servant, and so is David. So let's go over here to 2 Samuel, chapter 22. So, so when Mary, when he came back up after he was down in hell, first person he saw was Mary. And he told Mary that, you know, he been in hell, in the middle of the earth for 2 days, right? So I mean, 2 Samuel, David tells us we just broke down the system that was in place. Most High, they got pineal glands, melanin. So David getting ready to pass away. Most High came to him in dealing with him in his pineal gland and told him all that's going to happen. He gonna bring him back and all that. So I'm in 2 Samuel 22, verse 3. The God of 2. And he said, the Lord is, David said, and his Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. The God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower, and the refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence. So what David talking about? David telling you, ain't no Jesus nowhere around. He ain't nowhere, he ain't hid in Abraham's bosom, he ain't nowhere around. So David said, the God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn. Back to the word. So he is over David's salvation. Ain't anybody coming to be over David's salvation. He tell you right here, David over this. I ain't the Lord of hosts is over my salvation. And he my high tower. How in the hell somebody else gonna come and take that place?
Exactly.
They can't. So David said, I will call upon the Lord who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. When the waves of death, he died, right? Didn't JC supposed to die?
Yes.
And where he went?
Down into hell.
Okay, here you go. When the waves of death come past me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell come pass me about. So
God, dog it.
David found himself in hell, right? So right. JC said he was brought back up, right? From hell.
Right.
13 through 8. The earth shook and trembled. The foundations of heaven moved and shook because he was wroth. So David in hell. They holding him down there. These wicked spirits holding him down there. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, fire out of his mouth, devoured coals were kindled. He bowed the heavens also, came down, darkness was under his feet. This the Lord of hosts. And
that's
he rode
right.
cherubim, he did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind, and he made the darkness vision around about him, dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven. The Most High uttered his voice, and he sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning and discomfited them, and the channels of the sea appeared. The foundation of the world was discovered, and the rebuking of the Lord at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. He sent from above and took me and drew me out of many waters.
Come on now.
From my strong enemies and from them that hated me, and they too were strong. So you see where they're getting all this from.
Right.
So who the Most High sit down in hell for 3 days and 3 nights? Was it Israel, David, or JC? Who was it?
David.
Come on now. So you see where all this garbage coming in at. So, like I said, I'm opening up for some Q&A. Anybody got anything else to say before we close out?
Yeah, since you mentioned this about over in Hosea, the 6 and 1 through 3.
Right.
You know when you're ill or sickness come upon you.
Right.
How long that sickness lasts?
2 days.
Thank you. On the 3rd day, you do what?
You recover.
That's right. Even down to my offspring. Even my offspring, when they get sick, that's it. 2, 3
right.
On the 3rd day, they back up. That's how I am. And I noticed that, And I was wondering if anybody else noticed that,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense though. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that so? Okay. So let me hit you with this here since we're at the end.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Okay. Got a little bad weather over here, so you got to know. Here we go. Yeah, so like I said before, we're gonna, this stuff is just it's getting more and more information coming out, and we beginning to figure out just how much these people in the hood went us and got us off on the wrong road.
Leonard, can you say that again? What did you say?
We finding out more and more every day how they altered our understanding, how far off we've been up until this point. Now that the Most High is revealing this truth to us, it's being made plain. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, like I said, I'll see everybody on tonight at 6 o'clock. I hope y'all got something out of this.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Shalom.
I gotta work later. So.
Shalom, shalom, family.
Shalom, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
Great lesson.